With this staff, you shall do my wonders.
Hey, howdy, hey. Don't really know what to call you guys, so I'm just going to say people of the internet. Wolfman 47 here, and once again, sorry for the lighting. The bulb's still not working. Yeah, I'm going to be getting some new ones later today at the time I'm recording this, but yeah. So, first of all, I am in the appearance of a sort of a general character that's in the desert, because, deserts are very hot, usually people wear these, and yeah, it gets hot enough that you have to take clothes off. So yeah, but the reason for that is because I'm talking about two different but very similar DreamWorks films, The Prince of Egypt and Joseph, the King of Dreams. So these are two of DreamWorks's traditionally animated films, hand drawn and all that. Both are based on true Bible stories, and as anybody knows, it's always very risky and very challenging to actually make a Bible story into a film. I know there's been a few successes, and I know that there's been a few failures, and most of the time, I think most major studios tend to avoid them as much as possible, leaving way for independent filmmakers and sort of smaller studios to do their own version. So with the two DreamWorks versions, first of all, they're both musicals, so obviously it's not going to be as accurate as one would want to assume. And secondly, there's a bit more sort of dramatic stuff going on in both of them. So yeah, it's basically their own take on the stories in question. So I'm going to talk about Prince of Egypt first, because that's the one that everybody knows. Pretty simple, or as simple as you can get story. A brother, a character, a baby is abandoned and sent to Egypt somewhere, and he gets taken in by the royal family there and grows up with an adoptive brother. And then as time goes on, he comes to realise that he's not actually blood related or anything like that, and he has a sort of little crisis in his head and goes on a journey of self-discovery and realises that he is the one that must free the slaves and bring them and take them across the sea, which I think is the Sea of Galilee, but I might be wrong about that. Anyway, and it's quite an amazing film. It's well animated. Most of the characters are very memorable. The villain's song is also one of the best I've heard. And and because it's DreamWorks, who, unlike Disney, do take risks, and the risks being that they put in a lot of different mature themes in the film. A lot of the musical numbers are quite big, groundbreaking, and they even throw in the 7-day plague, or whatever it's called, as well. So yeah, all very dark themes for what should otherwise be a family-friendly children's film. Although, as I said in my very first vlog, animation should not just be for children, and this is definitely one of those ones where it's probably not best to show to children on their own, but maybe show to them it as sort of like a family unit or friends or whatever. So yeah, that's that. Prince of Egypt itself has won a lot of awards. I don't really know if it was ever a box office success. And honestly, I think I was a child at the time when it was released, so I wouldn't know that information from then. But it has had a sort of Broadway revival, I believe, and I think that's as far as it goes. Honestly, everything that's been traditionally animated that DreamWorks made, they've kind of forgotten about ever since they decided to strictly focus on doing full CGI films. So yeah, out of that became a direct-to-home media, I guess you could say sequel, but at the same time it's kind of like a sort of standalone thing as well, but following the same animation style. And that was the lesser-known Joseph King of Dreams. Now, I think the reason why a lot of people don't really know about this particular DreamWorks Bible film is probably because it falls into the shadow of the much more popular Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, which of course is a musical that was on West End and Broadway and is much more well known. But I guess you could say you get two different versions. There's one which is a full-on musical where every piece of dialogue is singing, and then there's this one that DreamWorks made where it does have some musical numbers, but it's otherwise its own thing with dialogue and so forth. Yeah, draw your own conclusion there. In my opinion, both films are good. I'd say I enjoy Prince of Egypt more than Joseph King of Dreams because I just don't remember that much about Joseph King of Dreams apart from it's a bit more grown up and mature compared to the full-on musical version. So yeah, and I'm forever grateful that DreamWorks had the balls to be able to make something like that because it's, as I said, most major film studios and some of the sort of not as major film studios tend to avoid making anything that's probably almost certainly going to offend people as much as they can. But DreamWorks took a risk and were very careful and even admitted at the beginning that of both films, that they tried to make it the best possible film they can be while also make sure they don't offend anybody that might take offense to it. And I think they've done an okay job. I'm not sure if I'd call it a great job or anything, but I know they definitely did an okay job with it. So yeah, and if and when if they decide to do more, yay, great. But the chances of that are very unlikely because of the changes in, like, social norms, religions, and so forth. So yeah, but most of us are grateful that Prince of Egypt and its sequel exist to give us something to enjoy, even if you're not a Christian or believe that stuff. So yeah. Alright, so that is Prince of Egypt and Joseph King of Dreams. In my opinion, two of DreamWorks' best films, but I wouldn't say it's not their like biggest, greatest film. But they definitely did do a good job there. I definitely would say Prince of Egypt is not underrated, but definitely does fall under the shadow of other DreamWorks properties. And Joseph just feels like it's kind of lost and forgotten about in the shadows. So yeah, but definitely worth checking out. Both films definitely worth checking out. I don't think they've really got much. They don't have much to do with Easter, because I know when people talk about the Easter story, it's more about the crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus Christ. And yeah, those two films are set, I think, after or before. I'm not really caught up on my Bible stuff, but yeah. But anyway, that's how I feel about Prince of Egypt and Joseph King of Dreams. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, then please like, share, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next one. Peace to you all. And if you ever find yourself in the desert, definitely take water. Definitely take layers of clothing off if you feel very hot. But maybe don't take every single piece of layers of clothing off if it's like over 30 degrees, because chances are you will get sunburnt if you don't have sun cream with you. So yeah, just bear that in mind. I know I'm sort of dressed as if I'm gonna be going in a hot day, but me being very careful, I like to use sun cream where I can. So yeah. All right, toodles. I want one of these things. I want one of these things. I want one of these things.